Bully, or Canis Canem Edit, actually just Bully, is a game published by our beloved Rockstar Games in 2006. There's no way on earth that you have not heard about this game. It's literally the childhood of 98% of humanity as far as I'm concerned. A game where you are the kid that literally runs the school. He beats anyone who gets in his way.
Who's the boss now? I can't hear you, rich kids. Who's the boss now, my waspy little friend?
Gets all the girls.
Oh, hey, girl, you're looking great.
Ooh.
Great, thank you for that sugar, darling.
Skips classes.
You coming, little Petey? Come on, I'm sorry. I'll give you a kiss if that's what you want.
Shut up.
Does vandalism. What is there for a kid to not love?
I am in love, Jimmy.
Now, you may be asking, so if we all love this game, why are you even making this video? And you would be right, we all do love this game, but do you even stop for a minute and ask why? Because recently when I replayed Bully, I realized that there isn't really that much you can do aside from story missions and errands to earn money.
I'll pay. I'll pay you $2. $2? Are you crazy? Make it 5.
Comparing to other open world titles, you would think that it got absolutely nothing on them. So why the hell is it still as charming to 20-year-old me as it was to 10-year-old me? Because of nostalgia? To some extent, yes, perhaps. But for the most part, it's because of how unique and clever this game is. Back in the old days, gaming companies were each testing different formulas and experimenting with them to finally find the one that suits them well. Telltale Games, for example, published some titles that have absolutely nothing to do with the choice-based formula they use on their games nowadays. Because they were only testing to see which one would succeed, and they finally found the one that does. Rockstar was also doing the same. They published many titles with totally different gameplays. Wild Metal, Thrasher, Smuggler's Run, Midnight Club, The Italian Job, Max Payne, Grand Theft Auto, Manhunt, Warriors, Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire, and Bully. Among all of the titles, obviously GTAs were the most successful ones, so the main focus of the company was on them. And the fact that there are 16 GTA games in total really supports that. Between those experiments, Bully was one of the titles that came out. It was successful but nowhere near as GTA titles. So Rockstar didn't see it fit to continue the franchise. The demand for a sequel to Bully is also pretty high, but not high enough for the company to take notice comparing to the demand for GTA VI. So chances are we probably will never get a Bully 2, or at least not anytime soon. In order to understand why Bully is so unique, we must first understand why GTA is so unique.
You forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.
Because GTA is the title that everyone nowadays have a full understanding of. Everyone loves GTA, aside from these ones. Because GTA is the game where we can live in our world without having to abide the law. We can do everything interesting that real life has to offer, but laws keep us from doing. We can kill others, rob banks, do drugs, and overall be a gangster. Therefore, for an adult that takes part in a society, it's very enjoyable to break the rules and feel like there's someone special that stands out. Because in reality, most of us are just another human doing everyday activities with a 9-to-5 job and an asshole boss that doesn't even pay you enough. And that was exactly what Rockstar was going for. To provide experiences close to real life that we either couldn't or don't dare to have in real life. However, like I said, GTA was interesting for an adult that took part in a society. But what about kids in school? This is where Bully comes in play. The story of a 15-year-old mischievous boy named Jimmy Hopkins who is left to survive on his own by his mother and stepdad in the worst school in the country, the Bullworth Academy. The events that happen to Jimmy in this school are the embodiment of the school life of a child if everything went wrong. While he does attend the classes, he does take part in interesting events that in many cases are close to stuff that can happen in a school run by corrupted teachers and prefects. Events such as taking back a diary that was stolen by a prefect, stopping a bunch of jerks from bullying another kid because the prefects won't do shit about it, or helping a teacher from getting fired because of his drinking problem. Just like each adult loves to be special in the society, each kid loves to be special in their school, which is why this is the game that they can relate to. Now, I'm not saying that only kids enjoy Bully because obviously that's not the case, but what I'm trying to say is that though adults can enjoy this game, kids can to some extent relate to it. Bully separates Jimmy from his family and leaves the protagonist to rely only on himself, which is the same case in reality where kids are supposed to go to school to learn and then go back home, while the real deal is that school is a survival zone for them.
I've been here 5 minutes and already people want me dead.
Many factors are overseen or at least not taken that serious by adults that can only be understood by students themselves, such as their friends ratting them out to the principal, getting bullied by kids bigger than them. Their nude pictures can be spread around that will ruin their life forever. These kids can step in games bigger than what they can handle, like teenage love. Just like Jimmy learns to love on his own, teenagers are left to learn the matter themselves, and this game captures the essence perfectly. Jimmy is who those kids behind the monitor want to be, the guy that stands out. While many kids in real life struggle to fit in any cliques in their school, from the very beginning, Jimmy doesn't want to fit in with any of the factions. He doesn't even want to get in trouble because he has already been expelled from 7 schools and wants to keep his nose clean.
And boy, remember, you will have a clean nose, so keep it clean, or we'll clean it for you.
This is delightful for a student, because now they can put themselves in his shoes and use the excuse of wanting to stay clean for their struggles of fitting in. But just like any kid out there, Jimmy has a friend that is a bad influence, Gary, and eventually, when he backstabs Jimmy, the thirst for revenge begins his journey in the game. Gary at first glance feels like a cheap antagonist that is evil for the sake of being evil.
Let's go out and torment someone really helpless and unfortunate.
Because he literally just betrays Jimmy for no reason. But given the fact that the game establishes that he is mentally unstable and should be on medication, his motives don't have to be clear. However, in my opinion, the story of Bully isn't just about a kid who gets backstabbed by another evil student for unknown motives and then wants to take revenge. This is a story of 2 kids who each find their true home in a school because of their abusive households. And each of them is only trying to become someone special for themselves in their home. Gary wants to be the one who rules this school and eliminate Jimmy before he even becomes a threat. And Jimmy wants to stop Gary from his plans by becoming the ruler himself. Gary wants to become the king to rule the school, but Jimmy wants to become the king to stop Gary from doing so. These 2 forces constantly fight for their reputation as the story progresses. While Gary's strategy is to simply manipulate other students to hate Jimmy, Jimmy's strategy is to help other students to repair the damage that Gary keeps doing to his name. At the end, Gary loses because of his ego, because he believed that he was better than Jimmy, while Jimmy over time learned how Gary's plans work and tried to defuse them. One of them thought he was smarter, while the other one was the smarter one.
You win, and you'll be sent away even quicker for beating up the head boy!
Why'd you do it, Gary?
Because I can! Because making little people like you and the morons who run this place eat out of the palm of my hand feels great!
But I never did anything to you!
You would've if I'd given you the chance! Face it, I'm smarter than you!
Oh, congratulations! You're smarter than me! You hate everyone and everyone hates you!
How to Become Smart by Gary Smith. Step 1. Hate everyone. Step 2. Make everyone hate you.
Jimmy's character is written so well. The majority of protagonists in other Rockstar titles are actually a bad guy, but the game makes them look good because there is someone worse than them. But Jimmy is nothing like those protagonists. This time, you are really the good guy. Well, not entirely. Just like how anyone would, Jimmy also gets dragged away by the feeling of being in power and builds an ego, which he eventually realizes is bringing him down because he's becoming just like Gary, so he learns from his mistakes and drops it. While Jimmy tries to stop Gary, he actually tries to help his school. He gets a hold of every faction only to stop them from fighting and to bring order to the school.
Yeah, I'm no saint, but I tried to bring order to the school, to stop the bullying.
When he gets notified that there's a riot in the school, he goes back to stop it because he cares about his home. Though he puts up a tough face, deep down he feels pain for being betrayed by Gary when he trusted him. Which is why he questions him why he betrayed him when Jimmy didn't even do anything to Gary. Which brings me to my next point. This game was misunderstood by many people. As you are all aware, Bully was renamed to Canis Canem Edit, which means Dog Eats Dog for UK release. The reason for that being that Rockstar's previous titles were causing a lot of controversy at the time, especially with the hot coffee stuff going around in GTA San Andreas. So they probably thought the name Bully implies that the game is actually encouraging bullying, therefore they changed it. Though Jimmy was the master of the art of bullying, he never did it for the sake of being cruel to others. Sure, he did beat people up and humiliated them, but he did it to get the school in order. He only bullied the ones who were bullying others. Jimmy used bullying to destroy bullying. And it was actually effective. Ever since the students accept Jimmy as their king of the school, every faction consults with him whenever they want to start a fight with another one, which Jimmy usually prevents. The true uniqueness of Bully shines when you realize that this game has a huge difference with other well-known titles Rockstar has published. As I said, Rockstar is all about breaking the law, which means that there isn't any restrictions. You can use guns, steal cars, commit murder, fight with army, rob stores, and etc. Therefore, Rockstar's hands are pretty open when they want to create missions for such games. However, Bully is a game that has freedom inside restrictions, while at the same time you are bound to many things that are out of your control, such as the prefects busting you for truancy or police coming after you for insulting someone on the street. You can't fight back, but you can run away in clever ways. You can't use grenades to kill your enemies, but you can use the firework gun to stun them permanently. You can't use a shotgun for crowd control, but a spot gun that shoots potatoes. No snipers, but a slingshot. No mechanic to bring your cars for you, but a skateboard that you can always carry. No prostitutes, but kisses from girls in your school. No gang members to follow your lead, but a huge kid named Russell that supports you for some money. No properties that you can buy, but hideouts that you can gain by beating the owners. It is truly amazing how they manage to make the player feel not restricted at all, while at the same time working on a game about a bunch of kids, which means that they had to cut out a lot of violent stuff that we see in their other titles. They found perfect replacements for their essential elements in Bully, which makes the game the most unique title Rockstar has ever published. The game has no limitations, while knowing its limitations. I'm gonna give this game an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm taking off that 1.5 because though this game is really good, it has its own flaws, such as some side missions being extremely boring, some main missions being extremely easy, lack of free mode activities, and no checkpoints. God, that no checkpoints was such a pain in the ass. With the release of the Definitive Edition recently, everyone believes that Rockstar has gone significantly downhill, and all they're doing is just milking their previous titles.
Jimmy, you've interrupted me.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Can I see?
Sure, take a look. I think I have finally caught the essence of what it means to be a banana. I really feel my work is moving forward.
But looking at masterpiece titles like this shows that how clever Rockstar actually is in creating their games. So I believe that Rockstar, especially with the new upcoming title which everyone anticipates to be GTA VI, will redeem itself. This is the same company that made our childhood with titles such as GTA, Red Dead Revolver, or even Bully. The same company that brought one of the best games ever made in history to us, Red Dead Redemption 2. So for now, let's all sit back and observe how these masters are going to deliver another masterpiece for us all to enjoy.